don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you? That I don't think that he's good.
Good morning. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Everyone, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for the Married to Medicine Reunion Part 2 recap. They got through it, y'all. We got through season 12. I see we have people in the house already, so thank you for joining me during the live. It means so much to the channel. Linda Gamble, one of the moderators, I appreciate you so much. Happy Tuesday, Sandra P's Gen Extra. Happy Tuesday to you as well. And thank you so much for housekeeping. I'm rolling and scrolling a banner. So everything is fair use because I will be sharing photos. I will be sharing a couple of clips. Fair Act use of 1976. Everything's covered by fair use. Everything is alleged and in my opinion. Thank you so much for that. Remember to hit the like button. And if you enter the chat, I appreciate if you enter the chat. That really does help the algorithm. So remember to hit the like button. Welcome, Sharon Gobble. Thank you so much for joining during the live. Hello, Sandra P's Gen Extra chat, American Born. Good to see you this morning. Good morning, Sandra P's Gen Extra. Kiwan JTV, hello. You are not late. I'm still doing the housekeeping, saying good morning to everyone. Kiwan JTV has watched Married to Medicine Part 2 and has her review up. If you're not over there, she just jumped over a milestone. So y'all, for the smaller channels, the growing channels, it is so important. If you watch a video, go ahead and subscribe to the video. She hit a milestone. We are chug-a-lugging toward another milestone. So 1,000 a bust. And that is the minimum. Sky is the limit. Help Google pay some of these growing content creators, especially if you see someone that you can relate to, you can laugh with, they read the chat, they answer comments, they engage. We appreciate it so much. So thank you for coming in. You are not late at all. Thank you. Thank you, American Born. I'm on time today. Woohoo. Yes, we haven't even started yet. I don't even have all my pictures in here yet, but let me show you what we have. This is from last week. That is Brandi giving a side eye to Dr. Contessa from last week. And I'll pull up some more in there. Brandi, I feel like, did a wonderful job at the reunion. Her package was covered during the first part 1, so we didn't really see a lot of her. And I'm sorry, I'm going to actually turn on my do not disturb. One moment. Okay, I was just mute for a moment. I should be back live now. I don't like to play with that on live, but I do have to do that just in case someone tries to call or something like that. So welcome in, everyone. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Sandra P's Gen Extra, and I actually have watched a couple of the reviews already, which I usually don't get to do before I do my own. But because I was late, I had a field trip yesterday, went without a hitch. I have my own little niecey with me, and then I was assigned three or four more children. But everybody was in good spirits. We had a great day at Discovery Place, so it was really wonderful. We loved it. So we talking about the Med Gala. The Med Gala, everybody. I feel like season 12 was an amazing season. I think they really did a great job. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I wanna have a different background, so I'll just go ahead and I'll try to talk and do this while I'm live. All right, I just popped up a picture. And again, everybody, just come in, click the like button if you have not already. If you're not already, subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. And I thank you so much for that. Okay, one moment, I popped something up. Now I don't see myself. All right, there we are. We're still alive. Thank you. I remember when I was a chaperone and almost lost a kid. Yikes. Yes, Kiwan JTV, what I do is like, okay, team, we're all working together to help Miss Sandra. And if you need shoelaces tied, anything like that, the restroom, water, we are all a team. We're together, and they'll help you look out for each other. So these were 7 and 8-year-olds. It's the second grade. And we had a great time. It was amazing. I'm looking forward to some changes to the show. Hopefully some new doctors and get rid of some dead weight. American Born, thank you for bringing that up. That is something that we'll talk about as well. I do think they had a successful season, but I do see some dead weight that we need Andy Cohen to kind of manage some of what's going on here. I think some of the trash might take itself out. Some of the little things I saw happen last night. So what I'll do, is, I'm going to go in and just, let me see, start. One moment. I'm sorry for stalling everybody, but that picture was from last week with Brandi and Contessa. So I want to share the one that we put up that I just shared with myself today. All right. Okay, everybody. So I'll start with my notes. And we start where we left off. This is almost like an unrequited romance, these two. Are y'all really doing all this, Dr. Contessa? And I mean, we're tired of this. This is kind of too much, y'all. This is a lot. So what I'm talking about is Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. And both of them are pretty upset about Dr. Heavenly lying on Dr. Simone, because there's really no cute way to put it. Dr. Heavenly did lie on Dr. Simone. And the rest of the ladies know that Dr. Simone did not push Dr. Heavenly. She removed her arm from her, which you have a right to do. There's this thing now where people feel like you don't get to enforce your boundaries. And I don't understand it. I don't know what it is. Even little kids now will tell you, you need permission to do that. You need permission to hug me. And it's important. They're not going too far. They're not doing too much. People have skipped over people's boundaries for too long, and we're not taking it anymore. We're tired of it. So these two are still going into that. And Andy Cohen, thankfully, Andy Cohen is not really playing with Dr. Heavenly. He says, I think he didn't ask Dr. Heavenly. He asked everybody else. Nobody else said that Dr. Heavenly pushed her. So Dr. Heavenly, being the liar and manipulator that she is, immediately changed the goalpost and said, you screaming at me, that was not right. That was not right. Screaming and screaming. It is a little bit aggressive, but it's vocally aggressive. She didn't touch you. And you lied and said this lady pushed you, get the F off me and all of this. So Andy Cohen has had a little bit too much of Dr. Heavenly, I think, as well. There's some cracks in that foundation because he used to laugh about it. And I didn't see Andy laughing at Dr. Heavenly's antics. So I'm going to read a few more comments and then we'll continue to go over the reunion. Everyone's speaking to each other, saying good morning to each other. Mama 59 Works, my sister, one of the moderators. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Good morning, Sandra P. Mods Chat. She's speaking to everyone. Heavenly should have been gone years ago. Yes, Sharon Gobbo, there is such a thing as overstaying your welcome. And I feel like she has overstayed her welcome. Her antics that used to be funny, I would even get a kick out of Dr. Heavenly. I no longer do. CDW, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming in during the live. Hello, we have just started. And again, they ended last week with Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie trying to make up. Dr. Jackie actually had to place herself next to Dr. Simone, who was so undone. She's crying off her foundation. Toya is sitting there still in her first chair, and perched between is Dr. Jackie trying to engage with her friend. Heavenly is still weighing in from the other couch. So Dr. Heavenly, you are pitiful. Your cracks are showing. I'm tired of you. So they're getting into it a little more. And that was basically a big part of the last week started out this week. Brandi sitting there, everybody on that couch. And as they hug, Angel's on the other couch. She says, I love this for them. This is so nice. And I do like the fact that they made up. Dr. Simone, I didn't feel came to the right conclusion. Dr. Simone is saying, I just wanted you to admit that. And Andy's saying, can you move along with Jackie? I can move along with Jackie, but not the fact that Heavenly said that I touched her and I didn't touch her. I just removed her arm. So everybody's looking. After she said, don't want it, can't do it. They kind of misled us, but I knew it wasn't about Jackie. I knew that it was about Heavenly. So if you were paying attention, you already got that already. So Simone was mainly hurt by that she's unhinged. She's pushing people. And we find out that everybody agrees, which I knew. Even Mimi. Now, Mimi, I caught you. Mimi kind of stuttered a little bit. When Andy asked Angel, did Heavenly push her? No, Heavenly didn't push her. Dr. Mimi, did Heavenly push her? Heavenly, no, she could barely get it out, y'all. Dr. Mimi, that's why a lot of people don't trust you and don't really care for you. For me, it's other reasons. It's the way you came on. I still think that she and Steve are a good fit, but I do want to see them kind of settle down. They don't have to maneuver or jockey for anybody's spot. They have their spot. So Steve's behavior during this part 2 is confusing to me. It's unnecessary. And Mimi, I feel like, did a lot during the season. And another thing I didn't like, Heavenly repeatedly weighed in from the other side of the couch while the other ladies were quietly allowing them to talk. Heavenly was almost Tourette's with it. She couldn't stop weighing in and saying stupid stuff. Keywan JTV, Simone is very unhinged, but she didn't push Heavenly. Yes, her behavior verbally and vocally, oh my God, the volume, that is unhinged. But again, it's not physical. So Heavenly did tell a lie. And then Dr. Jackie made a little comment. She said, "You are not threatening. You are not nobody could be afraid of you. You couldn't hurt anyone, not even a flea." And Dr. Simone said, "I think that's a little bit of shade." Dr. Jackie can't help herself. Yes, it is. So yeah, it is a little shade. I mean, she's loud, but she couldn't hurt anyone. Because Mimi picked the wrong one to back, she hurt herself. I think that too, American Born. I think Dr. Mimi and Steve, the way they came in, even though she kind of snaked Sweet Tea, she really did, and feel like she took Sweet Tea's spot. There was enough room for both of them. But her backing Heavenly, you can't be neutral if you back someone as crazy as Heavenly like that. Toya is tacky. Toya is loud. Toya is rude. She is disrespectful. She's all that stuff. But she is an OG. Not that you have to side with her when she's wrong. But if Dr. Mimi is going to call out Toya and her chaos, the other second most or even first most chaotic cast member is Dr. Heavenly. And as long as Mimi doesn't acknowledge that, I got to look at her with a side eye. Yep, this is what Sharon says, Sandra P. I will always look at Mimi with a side eye. Yeah, she got to. Welcome in, the Anitra J. Thank you so much for coming in during the live. Hey, good morning, Sandra P. in chat. There's Anitra J giving us all the emojis, the hugs, the love. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you so much. We are at the very beginning where Simone and Dr. Jackie just finished crying in each other's face to Dr. Heavenly's. She's upset about it. She's pretending she's not. I don't care if they make up. I promise I don't. Yes, you do, Dr. Heavenly. You don't like their friendship. And Dr. Simone, you want Dr. Jackie to cut Heavenly off, full stop. She's not going to do that either. She needs this big old bully, y'all. She needs her. Mimi definitely snaked Sweet Tea, but the way Toya, Simone, and Heavenly threw her under the bus for quiet was nasty work. Keywan JTV, it sure was. Solicited the lady to get on the show. For the people that don't know, yeah, Dr. Heavenly wanted Sweet Tea on the show because Quad, again, had no storyline because she's not married to Medicine, my love. So she needed to use Sweet Tea for that storyline. They even had Phaedra that season. There wasn't a lot they were really doing, so they had to use other people. But that was nasty. And for Dr. Mimi to feel like that can't swing around on her and Steve, Dr. Heavenly's not going to keep her mouth off your husband, Dr. Mimi, if she decides to get on him. If she's still here, we're going to see what's going on with that. Welcome in, dear Yvette. Thank you so much for joining the live. Everybody that came in and you're down in the chat, please do me a favor and click the like button. I would appreciate that so much. Quad sitting up there laughing. I said, Quad, why are you laughing? Quad, really, she's stealing these people money. You stealing the money, Quad. You stealing your check. So Dr. Heavenly, who's a friend of, she was actually up there the whole time. Now, this is some kind of scam or scheme that Todd set up. Whoever her opponent is down in Georgia, I heard it's a black man, who was in the race before Dr. Heavenly was. Because remember, she was running for a state senate or a local seat. And now she's running for actually Congress. So she's running against someone that was already in that seat. He needs to ask for his equal time. Because this was a full-time cast member if I've never seen one. Yes, he was. So whoever that is. I'm not messy enough to do that. You got people that insert themselves into stuff. I wouldn't do that. But if someone knows him, they need to put that in his ear. He should know that anyway. So then Dr. J, I'm going to hug you. Simone, you're going to ask for permission to touch me? You never had to do that. So they hug. Everybody's happy about it. Simone, you better watch this woman. She is so happy, y'all. She feel like Dr. Jackie is really her friend. And then here's Quad. Can you get your phone, Simone, and follow her? Jackie said, you shouldn't have unfollowed me. Yes, she should have unfollowed you. She should have unfollowed you. I wouldn't have followed her back. So Andy says, I worked a miracle. Praise him. Andy is a trip. Andy, you get all your flavor and your coins from us, and you know it. Like Nene said, nobody knew you until you knew me. So we put money in Andy's pocket. Never feel bad about tagging Andy or letting him know what's what. Now, he may not listen, but Andy, you owe a lot to us. Brandi and Contessa are laughing about it. Did he say praise him? Brandi said, yeah, and he used it the right way, too, so they laughing. Andy enjoyed this reunion. I have to give Andy an A, a 9.5 for a reunion. He stayed engaged. He didn't try to move along too quickly. He did everything that he should have done. So I'm really proud of the way Andy handled this reunion as he should, because Quad let him know about the numbers. Heavenly just make me itch. Sharon Gobble, not you alone. A lot of us are so tired of Heavenly. I am. I'm one of them. American Born said her too. So we all in here scratching over Dr. Heavenly. And she had this thing where she just giving this stink eye and looking crazy. So Contessa says, I feel that this is such a blaring conversation. That's Contessa is a trip. And then Andy's looking puzzled again. We got to keep teaching this boy. She said, Black Karen. He said, oh, I'm learning so much. So yeah, Black Karen. And she is right about that. She starts talking about Dr. Heavenly, how every time she provokes or starts something, she starts security. And production shows us Contessa trying to get her square up guard too, and Heavenly getting on her bike and skating around, nip slip, security. She don't want nobody to put her hands on her. I wasn't scared of Simone, but I'm scared of you. Andy's taking all this in. Dr. Heavenly, you said you weren't afraid of Simone. You said she was unhinged and you were scared to be in the same room with her. Allegedly, an investigation took place. You were late for the trip because you didn't want to be there with Simone, ride on the same flight, or stay in the same house. And then you came later when the investigation proved you to be a liar. And this is your boss sitting right here. And she's going to do some other things too. Yes, Andy did really good this time. Yes, American Born. I think he heard the fans of the show saying, listen, you didn't do enough. 3 parts of Potomac, which didn't need 3 parts. And he still didn't get through everything he needed to. 8 likes, 10 watching. Thank you, CC. Welcome in. This is one of my moderators. I'm glad to see you. Please like and subscribe. Ensure Sandra Peach Gen Extra moves up in the YouTube algorithm. Yes, that is our goal. Kiwan JTV is speaking to everyone. She has recently hit a milestone. We are both moving on up. We're trying to get to that 1,000, and that really is just the minimum of where it starts. So we always thank the subscribers that come in, engage in the chats. Even if your team replay, if you leave a comment, we engage in the comment, and that helps in the algorithm too. So thank you so much. That's a good point. He loves the spotlight. He does, and we've given him a lot. Nene gave him that show, Watch What Happens Live. Andy, you should talk to the cast and be in like a little living room. And she was his first guest. Nene never stops giving out great ideas. Put Carlos on to the same thing. I think Heavenly season is up. American Born for sure. Yes, Kiwan JTV. We're going to talk some more about Heavenly. And Andy, he would be like, a corny executive. He'd be in the office. We put him on. We made him hot. And he's very petty. Certain things he doesn't like. Heavenly kind of dismissed him and minimizes him later. What's your name? Called him in Fred. And Dr. Contessa, you see Dr. Contessa sitting up there smiling. Andy, let her know who you are. He said, I'm trying to. Yeah, Heavenly, you overplayed your hand. Because the people that love Dr. Heavenly and find that over-the-top stuff funny and cute, they're not going to be the one willing to just say, you know what, I'll sit it out. Heavenly can lose numbers for this show because she's done way too much. And I'm really tired of her, and I think a lot of people are. Remember, Lisa Rinna, the last season when she did way too much, put me on pause. We haven't seen her back since. Now, she's been on Traders and doing other things, but sometimes you request something and then you receive it. I think that's going to happen with Heavenly. Hopefully. I like how Andy pointed out that Heavenly can't come back if she wins her race. Sure did. And then Contessa again. Oh, I guess that's goodbye. And everybody laughing. Dr. Heavenly, I saw a lot of cracks in her armor, and I'm actually glad to see it. She's overstayed her welcome, as Sharon said, and I agree. They better not have 3 or 2-part for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They haven't done anything, Kiwan J. They're going to spend half the reunion in Florida, or maybe the most parts of it. Thank you for subbing, engaging, liking channels, because it is hard. Yes, it is, Kiwan JTV. We do value every subscriber. I mean, when you're a smaller channel, you can't help but when you're a growing channel, you notice people as they come in, as the new people come in, the ones that frequently engage. You miss people when they're not there. So yes, it is hard, but we be here talking anyway, so you might as well be here with us. GC Chair, hello. Thank you so much for coming in during the live and leaving a comment in the chat. I appreciate it. I never liked Heavenly because she reminded me of someone in my life. Yeah, those types are really hard to deal with. And I'll actually point out some more things I'm noticing about her, GC Chair. Also, the way Damon handles her. I think there might be a little something. My mother used to say she'd never diagnose anyone. Rest in peace to my mom. That lady had discernment. If she told you about someone, it wasn't a matter of if, it was when they were going to snake you, whether or not that was your friend. She would have seen Heavenly from the door. So we got GC Chair says she never liked Dr. Heavenly. She reminds her of someone. I miss my sister Trish 612. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in and leaving a like. I appreciate it. She's been on pause since. Yes, Keywan JTV. Lisa effing Renner. She asked and she received. So I love that. Dear Yvette, I want Quad, Heavy, Angel. See ya. Okay, dear Yvette, we're going to end up compiling a list of who we think might be invited back, who has graduated to a next season. My sweet Brandi. Brandi, you graduated to a next season. I hear people talking a little bit of junk on Brandi. She has my first season cloak of immunity. Angel as well. I don't know. I'd like to see them both back. I think we can explore a lot from them. I know where Cece stand. Bye, Elaine. That is Dr. Heavenly's government. And that's all she'll ever get from Cece. Bye, Elaine. Yeah, she's done a lot. At least pause her, Andy, please. And he did, as American Born said, pointed out that if you win the race, you're not going to be here. I don't think she's going to win that race. But if she does, she's not going to be here. American Born says they have already filmed the reunion, but Amanda didn't say how many episodes. Oh, yeah, that's right. She did disclose that on Carlos King. She said that she kind of got her little digs in at Bose. So depending on how they edit it, I want to see that. Sandra, my mom too, but we didn't want to believe her. Jerry Bet, no, I didn't. There were times I didn't like, what? I don't see it. And she was never wrong. She might be early, but she was never wrong. And I appreciate that. And I think with me, if I listen to her and the type of people, certain characteristics that you can see in certain ones, it doesn't change. It really doesn't. So I didn't believe it then. I believe it now, and I apply it to my life now, and it helps me. The rumors aren't true. She isn't coming back next year. Sorry, Rena. Yeah, I don't think she's coming back either. I don't, because they lost so many people over her. And there were times when I did like her. I did laugh with her. But some of the cruelty, I don't care for that at all. The pile-on, Fox Force 5, they are the original pile-on crew over at Beverly Hills. Yeah, those rich ladies. They started that mess, icing people out. Well, no, really Married to Medicine, even though they're standalone, they successfully got a creator off the show. They're still getting paid now. She is too, but I mean, they were successful doing it. I love Brandi. Me too, that's my girl. I give her props. When she was getting on Contessa last week about, you were under your breath, be loud about it so I can address it then. And Andy looked at her, the camera panned to him, and he was like, he liked it. So Brandi, I think you graduated. We'll see. Trust 612. Heavenly's been a joke from day one, always been overly phony to me. Yes, Trust 612, she was so desperate to get on the show. And Mariah did cast her, but Bravo didn't want her until she got herself together. And then she came in and made a thing of it. And I think they're going to have to drag her from the show, kicking and screaming by her dry, cracked heels. Heavy, get out of here. We're tired of you. Sharon says, agree. I don't know, Sandra. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll see. Grand Rising, everyone. Mama Bees, welcome in, one of the moderators. Thank you for joining us during the live. It is good to see you. This is part 2. We're also assessing the season since this is the last episode. So excuse me if it runs long, everybody. Me too. I'm so looking forward to her and Bose going at it. Me too, American Born. That's for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, y'all. We were talking about, we hope they don't get any more than a 2-part because they haven't done anything. And there's some people that need to be addressed. There's so much. Yeah, a mess. It is. I like Angel, but I'm looking to her as well. Something is off. Yeah, American Born. We didn't see a lot of her. She got her package the first part of the season, the first part of the reunion. And then we met her kids at a play date at Brandi's house. Dr. Bernard, Dr. Bernard, nobody liked him, y'all. The second we saw him, well, not the second, I thought he was okay. And then I didn't care for him. So we'll see. She has her scrub line. Angel has a lot going on, but we'll see if they actually allow her to return and show what she has going on. My fingers, of course, for her and Brandi. I think they're both good additions. Nimi's in her second season. I think she's a good addition, but I hope she doesn't think that Steve performed well going after Dr. Eugene. Think whatever about Dr. Eugene. He's popular. And as he said, I've been here 12 years. I'm going to be here. You just got here. And Long Tall had to intercede for Steve. Don't matter if he's been 2 years or 10 years or 12 years. Y'all, I found that clip and we're going to show it too. I can't put my finger on it. She'll be exposed. If there's anything to be found American Born, she's on reality TV. It will be found. Now, you'll know one of them kids' daddy, the little boy, he was in the NBA, and they said they had a picture of him laying up in the bed, and there was a man, a long, strong man over there with him. Yeah. She didn't marry him, though. And then I don't know if she knew because these men are saying they're straight now, but they're fluid. Listen, I'm Gen X. You were DL back in the day. Oprah had the man on. He wrote a whole book. He said it's down low. They sleep with their friends. They do all this kind of stuff. And they identify as straight men, but they are not straight. So I don't know if that's it, American Born, but there is something in Angel's past. She just hadn't shown us yet. Brandi, I love her and her whole family. I hope she comes back. Me too, American Born. And Shamar was dressed up. He looked like he just stepped out of a bandbox. So Andy Cohen, why didn't you have Shamar out there when you brought the men out? Everybody else's ashy ankles up here. Why didn't we see Shamar, who was backstage supporting his wife? We needed him on stage. And then somebody said, well, friend of. I don't care, well, friend of. Heavenly's a friend of, and we can't get rid of Damon. So let me see where I'm at. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll go through notes. I'll read through chat, and we'll just move along with this reunion. So the whole Simone, Dr. Jackie thing, y'all, I don't know what else they would have talked about other than, a few things happened. They had the couples trip. So after Dr. Contessa called it a blaring moment, a black Karen, Heavenly confesses that I'm scared of you. I'm scared of you. You saw the video, Kiwan J? I never saw the video. They were really laid up. Could it have been a homeboy type thing? Long Tall. He knows he's not going anywhere because of his wife. Sean Garbo, she's taking real good care of him. He had tuxedo pants on. And the long ones, they cost a lot of money. They custom. He looked all right, though. All of the men looked really nice. And I like the turtleneck. It was a little casual, but Dr. Scott looked really nice. Mama Bees is saying Grand Rising to everyone. And there's some crosstalk in the chat. Oh, they were? Okay. She confirms. So maybe that's the little something about Brandi, American Born. Evidently, she doesn't mind if the man is fluid. Okay, as long as he formerly in the NBA and got a little money. GC Chair, I know that the kids shared medical information, and I hope they get back to that. Thank you, GC Chair. Thankfully, the latter part of this reunion, when they were talking about not the Med Gala, because that is some mess, and I'm going to give my thoughts on that again. But they were talking about the medical mission to Jamaica, also part of the couple's trip. And then he was asking Simone and Jackie about some things that are impacting now because of current administration, and also things that are impacting Black women in Atlanta. So, Dr. Jackie, aren't you glad that Andy is still trying to polish up your burnished reputation after what you did? These women nowadays, you need to use PrEP with all of these men. That came up, American Born. I was shocked at that part of the conversation, because Tamar said that a couple of months ago, and people looked at her like, oh, you must be knowingly sleeping with gay men. And I don't know. I wouldn't put that past a lot of these celebrities, since they're all in the same circles, but not just celebrities, everyday working women too, because now that the men, according to E.J. Johnson, they can say that they're straight and they're married, some of them to women, but they don't consider themselves gay. If you're attracted to E.J. Johnson, I'm sorry, you're gay. But they said PrEP is something Dr. Contessa mentioned. If someone is active, that they should actually be on PrEP. Y'all, that's a lot. That is a lot. I don't know. I don't know a lot about the medication or what it does to you or cost of it or any of that, but I don't know. I could just cool my heels a little bit. I don't want to do all that. I'm sorry. Okay, so no other person calls security but Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Heavenly's proud about it. Said I wasn't scared of Simone, but I'm scared of you. I called her for you. So that's not a flex, Dr. Heavenly, because you sit here and admitted to Andy that you were never afraid of Simone. So you lied and you tied up HR in an issue and you tried to get someone fired or paused or hurt her paycheck. And you're saying now you were never scared. You were only scared of Contessa. And then she has said, and I'll choke you or I'll whip your egg. And Andy said, wait a minute, let me put in here. He said, that doesn't sound good that you're saying you're afraid of violence, but you'll choke her. No, I said, I'll whip her egg. He said, well, that's not good. Brandi said, well, that's unhinged. Brandi was getting in her little digs. So Heavenly, she can't shut up, y'all. There's something wrong. I don't know if she's on the spectrum, because you can be smart and just have different facets of your personality that you can't control. Dr. Heavenly is unable to shut up or to not respond or not go one step further or go too far. And I think that's why Damon has the patience that he does. Thank you so much, Mama 59 Works. I appreciate my super sticker. Thank you. Love the comments and engagement. Thank you so much. Or super chat. Yeah, when you make a comment, that's a super chat. Thank you so much. Those are available. Again, I am a newer channel, but I have activated that feature. So we can do that after 500 and up. So look into that, Key1 JTV. That's something that you could look into. There's some stuff I had to submit to become a member of partnership program, but thank you. So people can give super chats. But y'all, I want Google to pay me. So the likes and also subscribers is my main goal, but I really appreciate those. I think they're really sweet. I love that the cast share medical info. Okay, we talked about that. And then the prep, and then my super chat. Thank you so much. American Born, I saw a good point from another chat, said Damon was just as bad as his wife. Yeah, American Born, I never thought that about Damon until a few years ago as Heavenly got more and more active. And Damon just wants to go, well, it's Buddy. I tell her, I try to tell her, she won't stop. But me, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. Damon, I think you do like that. And I think Dr. Jackie is the same, American Born. She keeps a friend like Heavenly under her wing. And she does that because Heavenly does and says things that the two of them won't say. Key1 JTV, thank you for the support. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't know we could send chats or stickers. Yeah, I haven't highlighted it a lot. I'll start doing that, but I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, when you do. But like I say, I do appreciate it. I want Google to pay me. So I'm really trying to get my content out, be consistent with it, have the algorithm help me by engaging with the chat and just getting as many people over here as we can. But I do appreciate that. Thank you, Key1 JTV, and also Mama 59 Works. Thank you. American Born says Jackie doesn't want anyone telling on her business. She does it, and that's another slick thing she said. I'll get to that later. I think I put that in a note. So the men are still backstage. Y'all, they were still in street clothes. Steve is in those shades. Steve, you hyped up. You came ready to rumble. What's going on with you? GC chair, Heavenly couldn't control herself and showed her hand with that confession. She did. She absolutely did. And I'm glad she did that. Because I think she thinks that she can't be touched. No one is untouchable. No one is indispensable. If they could get rid of Nene Leakes and have her trying to tip, and try to get back on and do whatever she can to get back on, they can do it to you, Dr. Heavenly. They can do it to you. And you've never been as iconic as Nene Leakes. I'm sorry. I still haven't seen the hype feature. Is it possible it's only on your phone? I'm not sure if it's laptop or only on the phone, but I have seen it on some of my own videos when I watch it from another person's channel. So I do know it's there. I think what I'm going to have to do is give us like an example of it, and then I'll put it up as a post because I really appreciate the hype feature too. I'm sure Elaine was pissed she was just a friend of this year. American Born, I think she was. We couldn't tell. And I think she just did that so she didn't really have to talk about Damon Jr. But if you're going to sit there and weigh in on everybody's situation, every conversation, then you should have to share your life as well. So the men are backstage. Scott saying, the lady's looking good this year. Curtis is joking. Oh, were you talking about my wife? The only lady that was streaming at that time was my wife. Scott said, if I say Jackie fine, she fine. Jackie is looking good. And Cecil is teasing Scott. He said, well, your wife is always going to come in, hey, handsome. So production shows us Contessa doing just that down in Jamaica to Dr. Bernard. And I do like the way they strategically place the, I'm sorry, I have to turn my camera off for a moment, y'all. I like the way they strategically place the different flashbacks in, so we get to see Dr. Contessa in Jamaica when she greeted Bernard. I do like that about Contessa. Contessa is gonna big up anybody. She got a slick mouth too, though, so you gotta watch Dr. Contessa. But most of the time, I like her when she's not being super corny. Now, Curtis takes it upon himself, and Curtis, I'm gonna prove you a liar. I'm gonna prove you a liar, Curtis. He takes it upon himself to tell Dr. Eugene, your wife, we talked about not getting caught up. And I don't know, he knew he was going to bring this up. I think he and Steve had already talked about this because Steve was like on ready. He's in his shades. We talked about not getting caught up in the women's stuff, but your wife has perpetrated a lie. Eugene said, what lie? Now, I would tell Dr. Eugene, I loved his demeanor this whole time with all these different ones coming at him. Him maybe not being defended as much as I feel like he should have been. Cecil tried a little bit, but I do like that Dr. Eugene stood in his square, defended his wife, didn't apologize. He had a sarcastic one later, but I like the way he handled it. We're not getting caught up in the women's stuff, and your wife perpetrated a lie. Eugene said, what lie? She got on national TV and said, I put my hands on multiple women. And Dr. Eugene said, you did. You put her down into your lap. And then you, on Watch What Happens Live, they showed the picture of Curtis with an armful, a handful of Heavenly, and Dr. Heavenly looked unhappy. It ended up in a pamphlet or a brochure, and Dr. Jackie is right there in the picture as well. So Curtis wants Eugene to apologize for this. Eugene says there'll be no apology forthcoming because you did do that, and now you won't even admit to that, even though everybody knows it's happened. So I'm really annoyed with Curtis for that. He is a trip. So we see him put Toya down on him, and he said that he can't speak to what, oh no, he told Eugene that Toya also said multiple women came to her. Eugene said, I can't speak to what multiple women came to her and said. Eugene and Curtis said, well, then you shouldn't agree with her if you don't know what she said. Curtis is really angry, y'all, but he's trying to play it cool. I'm going to read some comments, everybody, because we're gonna drag all along, talk Curtis like a dog. Curtis, you should have let this go because Toya did not lie on you. And Andy asked the question, but y'all got no smoke for Andy. None. You know, you bet not tell Andy what he can say on his show. No, you can't hype in the live. Yes, GC Chair, that's true. It's not in the live. It's for Team Replay. And it's near the like. And as you scroll over, it's one of the features. But yeah, it's not in the live. Key1 JTV calls Curtis Big Nasty, as he is, and that Mo. Big Nasty was wrong as two left shoes. He was. Okay, thanks. I'll keep looking. Thank you, American Born. Yes, when your Team Replay, you could do that, American Born. I wanted Andy to call him out more for putting his hands on women. Andy has a certain sort of reverence. I don't know if it's either age or if they're his OGs or the most prominent doctor couple, because he loved himself some old dry Dr. Jackie, looking like a dressed up piece of beef jerky. Jackie, you look pretty, but I'm tired of you too, because she's going to stand with Long Tall and he's wrong. Curtis is wrong. Get Curtis because he had big audacity and always does. He always does. Thank you so much, Miss Jackson. I'm not sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, you are for real. Thank you for the $5 chat. Thank you so much. Just came across your channel since I love Married to Medicine, and you have a nice vibe. I try to keep my nice vibe over here unless I have to drag somebody like, oh, Long Tall Curtis, Jackie's husband. I'm going to show Curtis respect as he earns it. He has not earned it, and we are going to talk about him pulling Toya down in his lap, and now he's mad at Dr. Eugene about it years later. So thank you so much, Miss Jackson. Welcome in. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And anytime we talk about Married to Medicine or anything else, we would appreciate your presence, and Team Replay as well. Team Replay, you know I love y'all as well. Thank you. Curtis is disgusting. It's on tape when he pulled Toya into his lap. Tresh 612. Thank you. I don't know why he's arguing with Dr. Eugene about this, because it happened. It literally happened, and we saw it. It is highly appreciated. Yes, CC is thanking everyone for super chats, super stickers, any of that, likes, comments, all of that factors in. YouTube will start sending me out and say, look, there are people in the chat over here talking, engaging about a show that you like. come join us. So thank you. Exactly. Trust 612 American Born says, we're going to drag Long Tall a little longer because he is a trip. Curtis, let me give him a compliment because I don't want to be too mean to him. I like those tuxedo pants that Jackie put on you. You look really nice. You look good in your black. And I like the red rose that you had in your lapel to match your white. Now, back to when you pulled Toya down in your lap. You're wrong, Curtis, and Eugene's not going to apologize to you or Steve. Curtis knows he's too handsy, and Jackie knows that Long Tall ain't doing crap. Ain't dog crap. No, he's not. David, Curtis, he's not ish. He ain't been ish for a long time. And I don't like the way he humiliates Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie's one of those women, though, you can't feel too sorry for her because she turned around and get mad at you. Stop talking about my husband. Don't talk about my marriage. I wish we didn't have to talk about your marriage. We were talking about these medical missions, which I loved. And now we back on old Long Tall. I appreciate the info. Thank you, American Born. Yeah, on Team Replay, just look for it. Just sub. Thank you, Miss Jackson. I appreciate that. And welcome in again. Thank you. Of course, for good content. Yes, thank you. The CC thanked everyone. Thank Miss Jackson. I appreciate it. He is always looking at every woman, just the old creep. He is American Born. He's one of those people that, like, there's not that much space and he try to squeeze by. Oh, he's Curtis. Oh, he makes me sick. Welcome, TNTG Mom. It is good to see you. Thank you for coming in during the Married to Medicine Live. Hello, American Born. Yes, and them knees. He act like he gonna be doing all this. I'll put it on him. I'll put it on him. Curtis, prove it because we don't believe it. Act like he doing all this. He could barely walk through that airport with that young lady. She looked like she was holding him up. That's how TMZ or whomever got that picture. He wasn't moving fast enough. Cringy Kurt dog. He is, Miss Jackson. Cringy. Everybody's welcoming in TNTG Mom, and everyone is speaking to each other. TNTG Mom is speaking back. So Curtis is upset. And Eugene's saying, I can't speak to what other people told her. And then Curtis is arguing with Eugene. Well, then you shouldn't be agreeing with her. He should be agreeing with his wife, Curtis. That's the problem. You never agree with Jackie. You didn't agree with her wanting a baby. You didn't agree with her even trying to adopt a baby. You didn't agree with her deluxe apartment in the sky, got her out there in the suburbs so she can work those other businesses. And Long Tall, you wrong. You wrong. Steve is still sitting there laughing. Sound like a likely story. Something he said. Steve, you doing a lot. Dr. Eugene's like, you've been on one all day. And Steve's like, yeah, you defend your wife. You jumped on Mimi. He's talking crazy. Eugene's never said anything to Mimi. I love this chat vibe. Yeah, Miss Jackson, they get on all of the different cast members. And when someone has a favorite, now this is something you'll learn over here, Sandra Peach and Extra. You may like somebody that we don't really care for, but I'm going to highlight your comment just like I would anybody else's. Nobody gets mad if you like someone, don't like someone. People have their picks, and people will support the person that they love. Right now, you see Brandi on my screen behind me because she is wearing Sandra P's cloak of immunity, which I give to most of the first season housewives. Even though they're not housewives, they are new castmates, the nurse practitioners. And she did a great job this season. She really did. Curtis has been ghost for years, and now he has something to say. GC Chair, why he come in so hot this season? I think Jackie must have told him, I need you present. I need you to support me. I need you. But not like this, Jackie. You got to tell this man exactly what you want. Otherwise, he's going to get it wrong. And then when he tried to counsel the men, he shouldn't have been talking to Kurt or King. He shouldn't have been talking to Eugene. He's not showing the leadership we need him to show. So Eugene wanted to know, what is the lie? The lie is that I had my hand on all these women. Dr. Eugene said, just two, which, as we know, is Toya and Dr. Heavenly. But Dr. Heavenly never protested or said anything because she doesn't like Toya and she doesn't want to co-sign Toya's story, which we all saw. And he said, did I touch your wife? Yes. Eugene said, thank you. Again, he can't not admit to it because production is going to pull that out whenever they get ready. And he said that he didn't say that he was sorry. I'm not going to apologize until you show some accountability for always taking up for your wife. Eugene said that's not coming. Steve is weighing in and saying something. Steve is a little too zesty for me, dear Yvette. That's what they're saying. And you know what, David? I didn't watch the whole Carlos King interview, but I did see when Toya kind of alluded to that. Carlos is like, Steve's a nice looking man. You know how messy Carlos is. That's what the girls are saying. So, Toya, you got Steve really upset. And Mimi, to her credit, didn't get involved in any of that, but Steve he's a trip. He's really angry about that. TNTG Mom said Curtis is a joke, a long, tall one. Oh, big, nasty. That's what Keywan J calls him. And he is. Sassy Stevie. Miss Jackson, he is. That's how he's acting. He was ready, honey. And they were still in street clothes. But when they got dressed up, the top of what he had on looked kind of like a birthday cake, maybe a choir robe. And then he had the little red applique to match Mimi's dress. Come through, Steve. They're calling you sassy. I'm not, but some of the people are. Trust 612. His mere existence makes Jackie look so desperate and not practicing what she preaches. Trust 612, a lot of these strong women will have a man that they're taking care of, or the man's not really treating them right. And I don't like it. It doesn't look good. And my heart goes out to Jackie for that, because she showed us. We've been with Jackie 12 years, and we watched her go through her journey where she did want a child. She did. And she didn't just try. I don't know that she shared IVF with us, but she did have a scene with Curtis where she was asking about adoption. And he was so annoyed. I thought that ship had sailed. And I wanted to slap him when he did that to her. I would have asked production to pull that tape. I really would have. Fake gay Liberace. Miss Jackson, that jacket. What was that jacket? Pull the piano out and start playing, because he was just ridiculous. I didn't like his reunion look, and it did make him look sassy for sure. So when they come out, as they were coming out, Andy says, we're going to reset. And y'all excuse the notes if I have to, because I want to engage with the chat. And sometimes we may not be at that spot yet, but I'll go back to it, okay? There's no rush, only because it's the second part of the reunion and it's the end of the season. So Andy says, well, we're going to reset. The ladies start to get up. The men are now dressed. They start to come out. Steve is coming down the hall. Miss Jackson called it his Liberace look. Looked like a birthday cake to me, or one of those cupcakes. So he comes down the hall. I saw one of his team that addressed him, whatever, right behind him. And he's coming down the hall like he's doing something. What made me laugh, Quad is coming down the hall. Cecil come on. Quad told Cecil, you know, that's his little sis. Put your issue on. He said, I've been waiting to do it. Cecil looked good. Now, Cecil, you and Simone, one or both of y'all are colorblind. Or can women be colorblind? Simone had more of a burgundy type red, and Cecil was almost in the orange family, but he looked good. Simone got him dressed up nice. So I found that funny how they kind of came down the hall passing each other. The women take their seats backstage and they start eating their little snack. Quiet, is that what you do? You eating your Fritos? You gonna put the bag, that greasy bag, on these people's couch? Let me just go through the comments, everybody. Everyone's pretty much speaking to each other. Don't bring back Mimi, Dr. Steve, and Heavenly. Linda Gamble's in here giving out pink slips. I saw some other names mentioned as well. I still think they're a good fit. Now, I dragged them some of the season. They really got on my nerves. But as they'll bring up, they're going to talk about little Stevie some more. And they're lucky they brought him, because honestly, I didn't see redeeming qualities in Mimi or Steve without the Savannah little Stevie storyline. But Linda Gamble's still giving y'all a pink slip, so watch it. And Heavenly. And if Heavenly doesn't return, it won't be because she won a congressional seat. I'll tell you that. No, I wanted to slap Jackie here in that clip. That's why he said no. Dear Yvette, she didn't put her tracks in or nothing. The lady, get all the way dressed before you come in here talking about an adoption. So we going to get to have a baby or not. I thought that ship had sailed. Curtis was so mad. He's like, I already got my baby down in Dominican Republic. Y'all know I think Curtis has little children down there. In addition to another woman named Maria that he claims is a business. I don't believe you, Long Tall. We never did. I did appreciate her saying Cecil is working 2 jobs. Yes, American born. She finally trying to redeem Cecil after she told us all this stuff about him and yelled and hollered and screamed, and then had us dragging Cecil. Not Miles, because I love Miles, but Simone Jr. I don't care for Michael. Michael was a trip. But Michael has a job too. One of his friends posted him. He said, I work with a celebrity. Pan the camera over. Michael standing in the corner talking. Michael, what was your role that day? It looked like he was a server or something, but he was in there like talking. And he's like, oh man. So Michael has a job too. And I think Miles works as well. But the things they want, little server job can't really buy a Tesla. Simone hasn't cut them off. She'll bring that up later when the ladies come back out. Jackie was there. GC Chair, thank you. Jackie was there helping Curtis raise his daughter, helping raise Curtis's daughter, but she couldn't have her own. Yeah, I think that was terrible. I don't like when these men do that. Once they get their children, they really don't want to be bothered. And honestly, Quiet won't admit it now, but King did the same thing. King had his daughter, and when he was talking to the men, I'm sacrificing a lot. I'm running over to Ghana. I'm taking away time from my luxury car business and my daughter. Quiet didn't know that man was saying all that stuff about her. And then she watched the show, and now she don't want nobody to say anything about her. But Quiet, guess what? We will, because you forced him on us all season, and then blackballed the man from the reunion. I had some questions for him. He robbed her, that's for sure. Yes, American Born. I feel like Jackie lost much more than she should have, dealing with old long, tall Curtis. And I don't know what age she was when she got married. I feel like she was maybe 30 or something. And Jackie said, I promise I'm 61. The internet said I'm 65. I don't know how old she is, but I think she's from a generation. She might be a boomer, where they think like, oh, you're past it if you're 30 or 35 and not married. But Dr. Jackie is amazingly accomplished in her accomplishments. And whether or not she was married at 30 or 35 or had children yet or not, I don't feel like she should have felt, I got to take Curtis and he's my only choice. And I don't like that. I wish she had adopted if that's what she wanted, because I feel like American Born, I feel like she did get robbed, because that is what she wanted. Linda Gamble said, take Quiet with him. Linda Gamble's still giving out pink slips. So Quiet, Linda said, you can go too. Quiet is comic relief at times, but Quiet can never have me 100% because of Quiet helping to get rid of the creator. Luckily, Mariah's still getting a paycheck, but these women are so dirty that there's always going to be conflict between all of them, and they're not going to do what they should do. Now, we'll talk about the Met Gala and why that's such a mess, because for me, how it started, Dr. Jackie lying on Black women, that's how it started. And they really just kind of threw something together to try to have storyline, try to get attention away from Dr. Jackie, outing Buffy, you are infertile, and then saying Black women are calling out 25 times during their pregnancy, all kind of stuff. I'm with you, Linda. TNT G-Mom giving out pink slips too. I see why y'all think that. I don't know what Quiet's bringing, especially now that she's not with King and she forced this man on us for 2 years. American Born says, I bet Simone made him finally get a job. He had to. Good morning. Good morning to Latrice. Welcome in. Welcome into the Married to Medicine Live. We are over here talking about the season, dragging old long, tall Curtis because of his terrible behavior toward Jackie. But we can't do too much because Jackie allows it. They need to be dragged for the paltry amount they raised for the Met Gala. They should have gone after business, corporate donations. Atlanta's full of corporate money. This is a perfect segue, Cece. Thank you so much. Now, I feel like, let me go back and look at my notes, what I think about the Met Gala. I said, my view is it's the right cause, but for the wrong reason. Now, Dr. Jackie came up with this Met Gala business because she was in trouble. Her good friend, Dr. Heavenly, called her full, true views, what she really believes about Black women and some of her patients that are not celebrities and what they go through during a time when they're carrying a child. So we know Dr. Jackie put her foot in it. She was forced to apologize. Also at round about the same time, maybe before that, she had outed Buffy. Buffy, you are infertile. And it was at a book review, one of Jackie's book parties. She wrote a book, she had a party, and she called out Buffy from the stage. Mariah was still on the show at that time. So I think the Met Gala, Jackie rarely has a storyline. A big season was Curtis cheating on her. That's not a storyline you want. So the Met Gala, in my mind, is not a really good foundation. So we all know what happened when you build on a not strong foundation. So now CC, we're going to go over her point by point. They need to be dragged. Now, they put Toya in charge of the Met Gala this season to teach her a lesson. Dr. Jackie's good friend, Dr. Heavenly, told all of us that, the people that watched it, she said that, and told Toya that to her face. Jackie had one of her scrub line events, and she said, Jackie put Toya in charge to teach her a lesson. Jackie lied. I didn't say that. Dr. Heavenly said, yes, you did. Dr. Heavenly is a liar, but she didn't lie about this. Dr. Jackie put Toya in place over the Met Gala this season to make a fool out of her because Toya in past years had not been given money. Toya brought wine one year, but she had a wine sponsorship. So she didn't even pay for that wine. So I feel like it's on a rocky foundation, and that's why it doesn't thrive. CC is wondering why don't they go after corporate donors? And there is a huge medical community, corporate community, not just Black dollars, but a lot of people that want to give money to the medical profession, nurses, the nurse practitioners, doctors. Now, this year, we're going to give Toya credit where it's due. Toya has set up a 501c3. She officially set up the foundation. Now, she misstepped where she just put herself and Dr. Jackie on it as the founders, when we know that there were more people to it than that. And then Toya is going to tell us later, Jackie just asked for money and she ran the whole thing. What we saw Jackie doing was giving it off to her assistants. And again, I'm with Cece. They gave away, y'all, 2 $5,000 scholarships. Steve is still angry that he had to buy $300 worth of tickets, threw up in Eugene and Toya's face that we gave more in 1 year than y'all have given in 3 years because they bought a $5,000 bowl or ashtray, depending on how you ask. So there's ugly energy surrounding this Met Gala. Now, I'll say the positive thing. They have given out money. Last year, they tried to make a fool of Phaedra. Phaedra forced them to think bigger. She embarrassed Dr. Jackie into saying, we can raise $100,000. Even though Phaedra had to write a check to make up the difference, a sizable check. I think more than half to make up the difference. Dr. Heavenly she didn't really like that. So I find that kind of nasty energy that because of where the money comes from, you're kind of upset about it. But they did raise $100,000. I feel like Toya spent more on this party than she did on these young ladies' scholarships. So I feel like this party was more than $10,000. They did everything last minute. Now, if you know you're going to do this annually and it's going to be a part of the show, why haven't you asked your boss, Andy Cohen? Andy had to invite himself. Y'all, please tell me about the Met Gala next year. I promise I want to donate. And he said, is it tax deductible? Yes, because now Toya has an official foundation, which Jackie says is going to be complete within the 30 days. So as we speak, it is now. So kudos to Toya for that. And let me go through and read some more comments. Sharon says, I don't like to say this, but Simone Jr., I don't like. Sharon Gabo, I don't like to speak about anybody's children, but I don't like Michael either. That's Simone Jr., y'all. The one with Simone's whole face and mouth. And beg like Cecil. Look like Simone. No, I like Cecil. Cecil's not begging. Cecil has 2 jobs as well, everybody, according to Simone, and he pays his own bills. Cecil, what bills you got? Cecil retired. Kirk should have said no to Quad. He should have, Kiwan JTV. He should have. Hello, Toot Latrice, my sis. Everyone speaking to Toot Latrice. Again, welcome in. Thank you for joining the live. Petty Miss Stevie. Dag, just pay the admission and be cool, Dag. And then Mimi had to swipe her card. Did you notice that, Miss Jackson? Yeah, we see you over there, Stevie, getting taken care of like a bad bee, as the kids say. Mimi went in her pocketbook, put it in the budget. They're going to have to get more organized if this is going to be an annual thing. But I never thought they were really serious about it, and they look at it as a storyline. And then Quad's going to give one of her MLK speeches. Well, Toya, during the time, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. But Toya did a good job with the party. All of y'all admitted that she did. Whether or not she had the right intentions, none of you had the right intentions. Karma came around. It always does. Karma always comes around. Simone Jr. also, baby Bugs Bunny, Kiwan JTV, he is. I'm glad he's at least working, so I'll give Michael that. Driving that Tesla to work and plugging it in. It was strange to see that Steve and Mimi didn't have a beautiful home. And when she came to Toya's home, was a little jealous to me. Dear Yvette, when she put down that little cocktail napkin on the new lawn furniture, Dr. Mimi, come on, why did you do that? I think she was jealous. And I think her and Steve came in there looking to find fault. Now, did Toya show her tail at that party and embarrass herself and Eugene? She did. But Dr. Mimi was, to me, a little bit, I don't know that she's jealous of Toya, but something's going on between her and Toya. Clocked it, Miss Jackson said. And then a lot of times people will project onto you because later on we're going to hear Steve say, and also Mimi, Something about us doesn't sit right with you. And Steve seems to think Eugene is jealous of him and that Toya wants him. Production did show us the clip of when they came in the pool party. Toya said, none of the men can have their shirt off except for King and Steven. She laughed after she said it, Steve. Did you see that part? So that was really corny for you to bring that up. Dr. Eugene didn't seem to care. He kind of laughed too. Jackie has always resented Simone for calling Jackie out about Buffy and more recently, Brandi. GC Chair, I think so. I think Dr. Jackie never got over that. She wants her friends to stand with her, right or wrong, even though it's like pulling teeth to get Jackie to stand for anything, even if someone is wrong. And now Simone was actually Buffy's doctor. Now, this is allegedly, this is in my opinion, this is what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. Something happened with Buffy. Buffy might have received some money for her personal medical business being outed on TV. I don't know if that's true. If anybody can confirm that, you're welcome to put it in the chat. Again, we're just talking, we're having conversations, but we know that Buffy was embarrassed and hurt on TV. Now, her husband with the longhorn mustache, he got on my nerves. That's all right. No, it's not all right. You're not the one that was humiliated. Buffy was the one embarrassed, and I didn't like that. And say a word. Thank you, Miss Jackson. Steve needs to find a job and stop using Mimi. Linda Gibble, he got a whole office in there. You see that clip where Mimi brought a coaster with her face in it? Mimi, you got to do all that? Steve's like, I already got a coaster. You giving me a coaster with your face on it? You see Brandi and Contessa cackling. They said she gave him a coaster with the face on it. Production showed it again. Mimi, he's not going to forget you. You in there writing a paycheck. Can he have next week off? I heard Steve like to hang out a lot. Steve, put in your PTO request to your wife, calling Dr. Eugene Mr. Bush. That's not an insult. He and Toya are partners. I don't like some of the way they relate, mainly how Toya talks to Eugene. But if Eugene likes it, I can't argue against it. So the first, I'm sorry, let me go down, everybody. The men are out there. The women have gone backstage. The women are watching them on the screen the same way the men watched when they were on. And Andy's greeting all the men. He asked Dr. Eugene, is he going to lead the men today? Dr. Eugene said he'll try. He mentioned, he didn't get to Dr. Damon. I can't remember when he started talking about Damon Jr. You shut it down really quickly when Damon Jr. came up in Jamaica. Damon Jr. didn't come up in Jamaica. He was like, don't talk about my son. Dr. Eugene had not talked about Damon Jr. So the men are having their conversation. He said something picking at Cecil. Cecil kind of laughed about it. It'll come up. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened with my notes. So the men, Scott looks really good. It was funny when Scott came out. Scott had a cashmere turtleneck on with a black suit. Curtis already came, sat down there next to Andy first chair and folded his legs. Scott said, what you doing? You're supposed to lead me out. You remember Scott had the cataract surgery, I believe. He finds his chair and sit down. Andy asked about Scott. Dr. Scott, how are your eyes doing? He said he's almost 100% healed, that everything's getting better. So we are glad to hear that about Dr. Scott. So that's good. So the men are talking about what's going on. Andy is being messy. We had an incident backstage. What happened? Dr. Eugene and Curtis. An incident? Is that what happened? That's usually the women. Y'all stop dragging the women. Y'all were as messy this season as the women. So they fill in Andy on what happened. Curtis is still upset with Dr. Eugene not taking accountability on what Toya said about him. Toya is backstage saying, I don't know why he's calling me a liar. He did put his hands on multiple women. Me, Heavenly sitting there not saying nothing. Jackie is like, when? On the show? Jackie, what are you talking about on the show? And Toya's like, it don't matter, on or off the show. So now I want to know, who are these women coming to Toya talking about, he touched me too. He touched me too. Who's doing all of this? Because Curtis is bringing more attention to this than not. This could have been water under the bridge. So I don't know what's going on. GC Chair, Buffy told Jackie about her fertility issues. It was on the show when Buffy told Jackie, no payout. She sued Contessa and won. Okay, so that's where the money came from. Now, GC Chair, what we need to know, did Contessa pay the lady? Because I remember Contessa getting very involved. They went to Cabo. I don't know if that was a Cabo trip or not. I feel like it was. Jackie finally apologized, done with it. She was angry. She didn't want to apologize. But Contessa was getting into it, Buffy, a little bit around that same issue. And I don't know why Contessa was still talking. Thank you, CC. 19 likes, 20 watching. Thank you. I appreciate when y'all match up like that. Thank you so much. So the men are going back and forth about Eugene standing up for Toya, allegedly not taking accountability. That's Steve. He doesn't take accountability for what his wife says. Dr. Eugene don't know why Steve is on one. You've been on one all day. What is it about? Because Toya called Mimi, called them raggedy bees or something. I don't know what she said. But she also, I remember she called out 3 names. She said it was Brandi, it was Heavenly, and it was Mimi. And Brandi fixed it immediately. I remember her apologizing. I'm not talking about you and your marriage. If that's what you think, I'm sorry if you think that. I'm not doing that. The only 2 that got mad and kind of stormed out were and I think Dr. Heavenly tried to apologize a little bit, but then she left. When she left her fake Balenciaga again, she left and Dr. Mimi left. But Dr. Steve, well, not Dr. Steve, he just works in the business. He wants an apology from Eugene for this, which Eugene's not apologizing. So the men are getting into this again. Andy, this is not going to be fixed. So Andy moves on to the Met Gala. Steve, why did you feel like you could attend an event and then not pay for tickets? Now, Steve, you didn't like the way Andy phrased this question, did you? Andy was actually on Toya and Eugene's side. So Andy's like, this is for charity. Steve said, no, it didn't have anything to do about the charity. This was targeted. He kept saying that he was targeted by Dr. Eugene. Dr. Eugene is explaining, no, there was always a rule that everyone was going to have to buy a ticket. Now, we didn't know about the table business. We find out later Dr. Jackie had a table. We also find out Dr. Jackie did not buy separate tickets, whereas Simone had a table and bought 10 tickets. So Steve and Mimi, y'all need to get up off that $300 and stop arguing about that. They go back and forth a little bit again with the Met Gala. Kiwan JTV says Jackie was mad at Simone for taking up for a bully. Yeah, Dr. Jackie's like that. She wants 100% total loyalty, but she doesn't give the same. She doesn't like to kind of put herself on the side of anybody, right or wrong. She's just on the fence all the time. And then she looks like she's pressed if you ask her about it. So the men, they kind of go back and forth a little bit. The women end up coming out with the men. I didn't understand this configuration. The couches were the same, or maybe it was chairs. The women, nothing changed. Toya was still first chair. Quad was still first over here. But they put a long, tall kind of behind Quad. And then Jackie was right there. It was just weird what the setup was. I wish I had taken the like a picture of it and put it back there. So Andy asked kind of a silly question. What is something that you would receive as a girlfriend that the wives don't do or have to do, something like that? Oh, long, tall, why did you say sex? I don't know what he was talking about. The group thought that was funny. I didn't. I don't want to think about sex in terms of long, tall Curtis. I'm disgusted by him. I wish he'd stop doing that. Okay, we have that. Steve is allegedly a doctor, PhD. Is he GC chair? How come I've called him Dr. Steve, but I slip and say that because I know Dr. Mimi is, but I don't know. Barbizon, what's the school? We have not heard that. But that is allegedly and in our opinion. Delulu, Steve and Mimi, derisive and jarring. They did a lot. And again, I think they're a good fit for the show. Linda Gamble gave them a pink slip earlier, but I feel like they're a fit. I just need them to settle back down. So Curtis is saying that he's trying to reach a threshold and he's doing this movement over time. I got a goal I need to match. Now, Curtis, she's broken up from this man. I never believed the 15 times a week. I thought that was to get under Dr. Greg and Sweet Tea's skin and to kind of harass them and poke at them. Curtis, you're disgusting. So then we get from Mimi unsolicited. I think Dr. Jackie is a closet freak. I don't. I think Curtis wouldn't be in these streets if she were. I don't buy it. They needed the money for their forever home they are building. Dear Yvette, finally. And the home looked like it's going to be nice. But Toya, if they want any help with that, talk to Toya. She's had many homes built. Even if she moves out and get the next forever home, she knows how to get it up and built. I don't either. Nobody wants to think about long, tall that way. No, American Born. I wish he would stop doing that. It wasn't sexy at all. And then Quad said, I think that Dr. Jackie is doing more than she let us know. We don't know. Okay, we don't know. We're going to actually skip this. The doctor is on their website. Maybe it was an honorary. What did Mama Joyce say? Did he get it at the school or did he? We're trying to find out more about this degree that Steve has. Yucky Curtis. Yes, it's a consensus, Miss Jackson. None of us find Curtis attractive. Long, tall Curtis. Matter of fact, Sharon's laughing at him. That makes me giggle too because he's cringy to me. Quiet whispers to Kurt, the number 15. Did she GC chair? Yeah, it was something fishy about that. I didn't buy it at all. America Born's laughing at Curtis too. Oh, I see what I wrote a note. What Andy asked Cecil. Did you have to fly Frontier to get here? Cecil said, no, I didn't have to fly Frontier to get here. I'm here because we know that it came out on the show that when they were going to Jamaica, there was a lot of weather elsewhere and people were being canceled all over the place. Production had a whole map up who was stuck where. Old Long Tall claimed he was playing golf in Canada. He got stuck up there, Jackie. So it ended up, Simone had her seat. She's super duper fragilistic, expialidocious on Delta. And they said, well, your husband, there might be a seat for him on Frontier. Do you want to go with him? And Simone said, no. I'll see him when we get to Jamaica. So Dr. Simone, I'm with you. So Andy's still laughing about that with Cecil. They lied. I think they lied too, American Born. So he asked Damon, how are you, man? I'm good, man. I'm good. Steve, what's up? You got some ice? Yeah, I got my ice. You showing your cleavage? I've been in the gym. Steve, you should have took offense at that. You don't have cleavage. You're a man. You is a boy, as they say. So that was a trip. Scott was looking nice. He asked him about the eyes. We covered that. And Cecil in his little orange/red suit. He looked good. So now we got all the women, all the men out there. And they're just talking about different things during the season. What else came up? The Met Gala came up again. This time when Toya is out there with Eugene, Toya can increase the volume as well. She got one of the volume bars on her throat, just like Simone. She is screaming and hollering across the thing at Mimi and Steve about these tickets and all this other stuff. Now, I will give Mimi credit. Mimi didn't get loud, but she was still trying to get her point across. She was no match for Toya. And at one point, Dr. Eugene was like, may I interject? I just want to say something. Andy could not get Toya to shut up. And he said, Eugene wants to say something. Toya still didn't stop. And Quad was like, everybody, be quiet. Just settle down. Let him speak. And Eugene finally got out something about the Met Gala. So Steve and Mimi, we find out from Toya. Toya is saying, they never paid. They still never paid. And Eugene's making it clear that everybody knew, whether you bought a table or not, everyone that entered, because it was a private event, needed to have a ticket. So Steve, y'all had to get up off that $300. And we saw Mimi swipe her card. Oh, Toya alluded to Quad and Curtis allegedly. Linda Gamble, Toya alluded to Quad and Curtis allegedly. I didn't like Curtis doing all that over Quad. I don't care for Quad, but I don't think Quad would ish where she works, and I don't see her with any of the husbands. Now, Dr. Heavenly has lied on Quad that Quad messing with married men. I didn't believe Heavenly in the closet. Quad was on vacation with a contractor, and she's good friends with the man's wife. So that is, I think that came from that, but I didn't know that she was alluding to Quad and Curtis. Again, I put nothing past Curtis, but I wouldn't put that on Quad. Toya don't play. She sure don't. And loud as can be. So they were going back and forth. I don't know if I could say win, lose, or draw. Mimi and Steve, you don't have home court advantage. I mean, I think you'll be back. Some people don't want you back. I think you'll be back. And Eugene ended up, no, this is when just the men were out there. I've been here 12 years. You just got here. And long tall time. I don't care if you've been here 10 years, 12 years, or 20 years. Something Curtis said. Curtis, I think you sicked Steve on Eugene. That's what I think. And Eugene ended up coming. Curtis, I understand you don't like my wife. And Curtis didn't deny it. So he don't like Toya. He used to like her. He said, come here, baby, and sat her right in his lap. Curtis was in the DR with his other family, allegedly. Linda Gamble, I never believed that he was in Canada. Talking about he was in some type of golf tournament. So So they are going back and forth. Let's see. Oh, he asked Damon about the massages. Damon, you didn't admit to getting a massage. I didn't remember getting a massage. He'll lie too. He did get a massage. That lady was rubbing his feet. This might be when the men were out there, so excuse that, y'all. I'm not sure why I didn't cover that then. Cecil's laughing. Cecil did not weigh in too much. Andy asked if she has cut the boys off. Simone said, no, I didn't cut the boys off. She's saying something about families and she's going to share her family. It's hurtful when people say things about you sharing your family. And I had to agree with Simone. Dr. Hamlin was over there with Carlos King making fun of, I would never put this, that, or the other on TV about my family. Andy's ears were perked up. So Dr. Heavenly, keep talking. We know you would never put that out because she lied about, she didn't know about Damon Jr. I still feel like she knows about Damon Jr. That was a question Andy had for Damon. Why didn't you tell your wife about what was going on with Damon Jr.? Well, don't believe that just because I'm on TV that I don't handle this, that, or the other. Damon, nobody said that. The mental health story, it's plausible to me. It sounded more likely than just Damon Jr. going off and running at the police. But I don't know why it had to come out later, because now some people think it's kind of a ploy to get him out of trouble. He said, if you see me now, you will know that I am always there for you. And Scott spoke up and said, are you saying you're not in touch with him now? Damon said, no. Now this changed. I thought that Damon Jr. was still in touch with at least Damon and the siblings. So I didn't know that. So my heart goes out to Damon Jr. If it is mental or if it is just something with police involvement, I want him to get out of that, y'all, relatively unscathed. And no, I can't stand Dr. Heavenly. I think she's done a lot of damage among other families and in her own household. But I don't want any of the kids that we meet on this show to really go through like that. I really don't. And I'm glad nobody got hurt. I heard he drove his car toward the police, so I don't know. I agree. Heavenly lied. You know she knew. Yeah, she knew, American Born. I believe she knew. David says, Steve is the Chief Operating Officer of Intercommunity Health of Dr. Mimi office. He's also a Regional Director of Nike Sports Camps. They also say Mimi and Steve have 3 kids, Amir, Steve, and Savannah. So where is Mr. Amir at? Where is this other child? Because we only were introduced to Stevie and Savannah, and we didn't know anybody existed last season, dear Yvette. So Steve and Mimi, are you going to give us like a little bit of your storyline each year? You trying to be invited back so now you can show us the other child and then what Steve actually does at these businesses? American Born says, yeah, they said Damon was still texting and talking to the son. I thought, American Born, when people lie so much, they can barely get their stories straight. Mimi and Steve is fired from my TV. Linda Gamble, how are you going to fire them if they get another contract? You going to fast forward? GC Chair says Damon was lying. They had a court case in March of 2026. I think the mental health issue was a part of the plea. GC Chair, I can see that if that's the case. He's relatively young, though. He's in his mid-20s, and that is that time where, especially with young men, if something's going to present itself mentally, it does. A lot of times they're away at school. Their brain is still developing, and sometimes that does happen. So I just wish him well. Dr. Heavenly, get over there in that closet and talk about that, because there is concern for Damon Jr. If we don't like you, there is concern for Damon Jr. And I feel like his story, it's his story to tell. His story could have taken a different arc. If you're going to talk about it anyway, why are you lying about it? Just say what it is. Cece says, I agree. I want the kids, young adults, to be okay. I cannot like their parents and want the best for the kids. I feel the same, Cece. I really do. Dear Yvette, go to CMP. And Key1J is laughing at Linda Gamble. Yeah, Linda done fired a couple of people. Andy Cohen gonna have a problem with you, Linda. How you gonna? He said, how I'm gonna put on a show? And all these people getting pink slips. Oh, at one point, Dr. Eugene said something and Steve weighed in, and Dr. Eugene said, you didn't have to comment. Yes, he does, Dr. Eugene. They're paying him words per minute. He's trying to get in here. He don't care. At one point, when the men were arguing backstage, and Dr. Eugene was like, okay, if I'm going to let you have your temper tantrum and I'm going to just get up and leave. Shamar was sitting right next to Dr. Eugene. Shamar looked nice, y'all. I'm trying to show how to, trying to share that picture that I had on my thumbnail, because I still don't like the fact they didn't bring him out. I don't care for that. I know Brandi had her package first part of the reunion, but when the other husbands came out, friend of or not, Her husband should have came out. Damon's out there and Heavenly's friend of, so I didn't like that. So, Dr. Eugene was saying he saw the women's face. Mimi had judgment in her face. Heavenly had judgment in her face. Mimi was still lying. Toya, why did you blame us? I wasn't talking about you. Yes, you were. You told the lady to show her femininity. Lead with your femininity. And Toya's loud and wild and tacky, but she's feminine. So, Mimi, there's more than one way to be feminine. Everybody doesn't have to act like Whitley Gilbert to be feminine. So, Mimi, she's too slick for me. I don't really like a lot of the way she presents herself, even though I do still feel she's a good fit for the show. Miss Linda, please put in your app to Bravo and recast because I'm sick of these people. Keywan JTV wants people to go too. What's a CMP? I'm not sure yet either, dear Yvette. I was looking to see what it was. All right, so Eugene put down his resume. He'd been there 12 years. Curtis don't care about that. And Steve is basically chasing Dr. Eugene around. And Dr. Eugene starts to pay him dust. So, Steve, you in your birthday cake suit, sit down. You are looking like a clown. So, let's see. The other ladies. Dr. Contessa is weighing in with something. I didn't write down. I just said Contessa. Oh, Dr. Simone, Damon. Damon is basically, and I don't understand. I don't say anything. Dr. Heavenly, she's the one, Buddy's saying things. Anything anyone said about me, this show has surprised me. I never do that. I never do that. And then Dr. Simone, well, this is before y'all. This is all over. I'm sorry. She's saying, tell your wife to stop, which is true. Because anytime Damon caught a stray, it was because of Dr. Heavenly. When Mariah had her sideways sachet, you want to see the receipts, baby girl? Because I have them. That was down to Dr. Heavenly. Talking under Aiden's clothes, doing all kind of stuff. Before Dr. Eugene, she used to do that same thing to Aiden. And Mariah checked her. And I guarantee you, Dr. Damon put the brakes on that. Mariah even said, I didn't share it even though I had it because Damon came to me and said, please don't do that. Please don't share. So Damon, there is information that people have had on you. And she said she didn't share because of her respect for Dr. Damon. But I feel like Simone is back there going, you just gonna catch a stray, boo-boo. You gonna catch a stray, boo-boo. And she's right. So blame your wife. It goes back to Dr. Heavenly. Andy says, well, when you talk to her, does she listen? Damon lies. She's getting better. Everybody's laughing because she's not getting better. She's getting worse. Sitting over there, blinking in my eyes and twitching. Y'all see how red the corner of her eyes get? Heavenly's crazy. I think there's something else going on with her, too. I don't know what. We ain't seen that teacup in a while because that was a bad look. But in my opinion, there's a lot more going on with Dr. Heavenly than she's willing to share and that her castmates will throw out there. And I wouldn't blame them if they did throw out whatever they want to. If Jackie comes back next season, Bet Long Tall won't be seen. Yeah, American Born, she going to put him back on the shelf. She might buy his ticket to the Dominican Republic herself because we all got tired of him and she was too. And that's another thing she said. I'm so proud of Curtis that he took accountability. And Steve is going to pipe up. Real men take accountability. Steve, everybody up there is a real man. And Dr. Eugene's like, who are you referring to? Hit dogs holler. But he was looking right at Dr. Eugene. This man is really pressed. I cannot stand Toya, but she's good for TV. Quad can stay. Contessa, Brandi, Angel, and Mimi can stay. The rest can go now. Yeah, I don't know who they're going to. They've had good fits on the show before that they let Heavenly chase away. So I don't know what he's going to do. Damon is so henpecked. He is. That's why I'm not buying this, I'm the head of my household, this, that, and the other. He don't really check Heavenly. The one time Dr. Contessa got all in his face and was saying, I'll make as much money as you. I don't know what Dr. Contessa was on, but she got all in Damon's face. And he basically dragged Heavenly out of there because Heavenly wouldn't stop arguing with her. He was like, when I tell you to stop, stop. And she was like, okay, daddy, okay. And I was like, I don't know why he's so mad. I think it was because Dr. Contessa addressed him. That's another thing he said. I tell her, be careful how you're talking to the men, because then if they say something to you, then I'm going to have a problem. And Cecil said, is there ever a time when the men have actually addressed the women? There has not been. I think, honestly, the worst thing I've seen this season, Dr. Heavenly is always number one. She's the worst in my book. But Dr. Steve flying up in Dr. Eugene's face. I got a problem with it. GC Chair, My daughter died on Christmas 23, and my grandson held it together until Mother's Day 24. Young men, especially Black youth, have mental health issues, something we should talk about. He's great now. Condolences, GC Chair, on the loss of your daughter, especially at that time of year, Christmas, and your grandson, and what he had to go through, and the fact that he held that in, and then the pressure of it, because I know we do that too. How are they going to react? Oh, he's getting ready to break down. He's getting ready to break down. He's getting ready to break down. But I really feel like they should be able to express whatever feelings, however they need to express those feelings, and not have the pressure of how they express it. So our hearts do go out. Condolences for that. And I'm glad your grandson is doing well. I'm glad he is. And I hope you are as well. American Born is expressing what we do. Sorry for your loss. So this on behalf of the chat. Color Me Pink here on YouTube. Oh, thank you so much, Linda Gamble. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh my God, at GC Chair, I'm so sorry. That's unimaginable. That's something that you cannot imagine. Everyone's giving condolences because parents are not supposed to outlive their children. So that is something that we can't imagine, cannot imagine at all. And then to have a survivor, a young Black boy growing into a man, certain things they feel like they can't express. And that's another thing I didn't bring up. Steve, when he said that to Dr. Eugene, do you want to be one of the women? Expressing emotion or defending someone that you feel needs your protection, is entitled to your protection, that's not acting like a woman. Men can protect, men can show emotion, and they're not acting like a woman. They're showing that they have emotions, and it's important, and you can't just wear that on the inside. So we have the praying hands, the hearts, all of that is love, hugs. Thank you so much, GC Chair, and I appreciate you being an active member of the chat. Those in the bushes, I know, are sending prayers as well. So thank you so much. Y'all know I joke, I kiki, I drag, I'm silly and all that, but I have feelings and a heart too. And that just kind of got me a little bit. So thank you so much for sharing that and feeling safe to express that in our chat. Thank you. Yes, American Born agrees. It should be okay for men to show emotion. That is getting scary. That's something we're going through in this country, where they're making fun of people. If a boy cries or he has feelings, they want all these alpha men, and it's not real. They're not all the alpha and all this kind of, that's not real. You have to have feelings. I never tell my nephews and them not to cry. I don't. You cry if you want to cry. Dr. Jackie is on her third strike. Linda Gamble, Andy Cohen got a place in his heart for Dr. Jackie. And I don't know. I think she's going to have to be the one to say, Andy, I'm tired. I'm going to the house. And I don't see her saying that. Dr. Jackie loves attention, y'all. Before this show, she was on every Atlanta-based show delivering babies left and right. So Dr. Jackie actually loves what she's doing. Don't let her fool you, y'all. She don't want to tell her business, but she wants to be here. GC Chair says, thank you. I just wanted to share about mental health for Black young men. Yes, and another thing, I know Mimi got her pink slip from a few people in here, but her business, Dr. G was a mental health professional, a therapist. Because of Dr. Heavenly's mouth and her actions, he's no longer on the show. He services young Black men. And that is something that Damon brought up. He said, and I'll give you referrals and you don't even answer me. Your wife called this doctor a PDF file on social media. Now I'm hearing rumors that she might have been fined for that. And I would have liked to known that, even though it's an HR issue. Candace let us know if she got fined during Potomac. Heavenly's never going to let us know. But we lost a mental health professional because of Heavenly's mouth. But Dr. Mimi, her business, what she and Steve do, that's valued. It's important. I think it's another reason they'll stay around. I know people want them gone. Linda said they can go, but I do think that her business is valuable. So I do see her getting another contract. I want her to, Steve, hang that birthday cake suit up and don't come in here like that. You ain't got to do all that. And Toya is going to say later, I don't hold grudges. Now, does Dr. Eugene hold a grudge? Because he kept saying the men have never been this rude. The men have never done this. And when he called Eugene Mr. Bush, Cecil was like, come on, don't do that. We don't do that. Curtis liked it because he couldn't say it. He knew better. It does seem that something is going on with their son since he won't come back around. And I bet they're supporting him financially. Yeah, American Born, Dr. Heavenly, when she had her moment of just being transparent. When she was at Brandi's dinner, her and Dr. Simone got a chance to talk. She was full of dirty Shirley's, and she said, I cussed my boy out so bad. He ain't been back. He packed his bag and he ain't been back. So we know Heavenly's mouth is lethal. And I can't imagine what she said to Damon Jr. So if he had, now we didn't know that it was a mental incident. We just knew it was involving police. So Dr. Heavenly, if you did that and this boy was having a mental breakdown, he's doing this on campus in a car in front of his classmates. You know how to, if something happens and everybody stops and looking, the police showed restraint. They could have blown that boy up through that car window. He could have lost his life. And you cussing him out because you care what we get online and say? Who cares? I'm disgusted with Dr. Heavenly, y'all. I want her to pause. I want her gone. I'm tired of her. You're right. Dr. Jackie loves the spotlight. American Born, she does. She tried to pretend she doesn't, but she does. Dear Yvette, Eugene should have given Steve a prescription for some meds. Dr. Mimi should take him for counseling. Dr. Mimi revealed, I'm in counseling every 2 weeks because Andy asked him about Stevie again. Y'all, here's what I don't like. They kept mentioning little Stevie. We love Stevie. We love the scene with Stevie and Savannah. Now we hear there's a third child. Okay, maybe we'll get to meet them if you come back, Mimi and Steve. But I don't like the fact that they're always saying, little Stevie this, we're working on this. And Dr. Mimi saying, I'm in therapy twice a week. I'm going to be going through this my whole life. You know who else will go through this their whole life? Stevie. So Mimi, stop centering yourself and center your child. And also Savannah. Savannah, she shouldn't have to go to her grandmother to get attention. I don't like that, y'all. I still think they're a fit, but they need to tweak some things. They don't have all this attention that they're giving Dr. Eugene and Toya. They don't really have the room and space for that. Focus on yourself and your children and your business. I hope Elaine got fired for that as well. American Born, I hope so. I'm ready for her to go. I'm tired of her. American Born is laughing. Yeah, we want her gone. What's the use? And then now, if they can't talk on supposedly social media about things on the show, why is Heavenly still able to go over there with Carlos King and run her mouth? I'm tired of it. Linda, love you, sis, but Dr. Jackie's not going anywhere. Sharon Gobble, I'm so tired of Jackie, and I have to agree. It's going to be up to her. She loves the attention. Andy loves her. He loves the legitimacy that Dr. Jackie brought to the cast. Linda loves, oh yeah, we just said that. Okay, if they fired Renna, then for sure they should have gotten Heavenly. I think eventually, and this might be it, this might be her pause. Because again, I can't remember the circumstance, but I mentioned it when they were going back and forth. And she says, well, what's your name? Fred? And Andy looked and the cast was howling. And Contessa said, oh, show her who you are, Andy. And Heavenly didn't catch that. The rest of the cast did. And Dr. Simone was hooting. She don't know your name, but she got your vote. Because Andy's always alluding that he would support Heavenly if he were in her district. Heavenly this, Heavenly that. Heavenly respects no one. She don't even respect Daddy. Because if she did, she wouldn't conduct herself like that. If we find out, he said, don't assume I'm not telling, buddy. I am. Just like I don't assume you're not telling your wives. The wives don't listen. Eugene, of course, talks to Toya. He told Toya she was wrong when she did that to Angel. Toya don't listen to him, just like Heavenly, for the most part, don't listen to Damon. American Born says Renna got fined $50,000 for telling things before the show, and we've seen Heavenly doing this for years. Maybe they keep it secret. I hope she's being fined. Candace says she paid between $35,000 and $50,000 for some of the things that the cast was running to HR about, social media activity. And they had someone, an intern, actually just watching Candace's social media. They have to come with something else with the storyline. I know it's a lot with little Stevie, but Amiri, the other kid Steve and Mimi have, where is this kid? I want to know, David, if it's an older kid, maybe they don't want to be on the show. But do they have a choice if they're living at home? I don't think they can have a child, or just, I'm looking at their age. I'm assuming. Do they have a child that's 18 and up? Because Toya and Eugene's Ashton and Avery are 13 and 15, somewhere around in there. They like being on TV. They like making their little money and then just laying back in the cut. And I love those two boys as well. I think this cast might have my favorite configuration of different kids. I really do. So let's see. I think we're almost to the end, everybody. I wanted to show that picture, but I don't want to like stop and try to figure that out. If I can, I will. Quad and Cecil, they bought by each other. Damon, I think he's still defending Heavenly too much. Oh, and then Steve and Mimi get more showcasing as a couple. Focus on this, y'all. I like this. They were saying that Steve says we constantly fall short, but we want to constantly remind each other you're doing a good job, and that they're lucky to have him. Now that you're lucky to have him, and also Savannah, and also this third child that dear Yvette has informed us about. So y'all don't just focus on Stevie. I don't like that. Now, every time Mimi talks about little Stevie, she does get tearful. That is clearly her heart. That is the key to her heart. So Mimi, that has made you actually likable and a little more tolerable. Dear Yvette's confirming he is the oldest child. Okay, I see that. So hopefully we'll meet him next season if they're invited back. Does Andy and on production hate Candace so much they're watching her socials? There have been other housewives who tell things with no fine. Thank you, CC. I always knew that Andy Cohen did not like Candace. He has something against certain Black women. If they don't meet his idea of what certain Black women would be, he kind of holds a little bit against them. He's the same way with Kenya Moore to me. He doesn't like her either. And then the way he was able to push Nene aside and never want her back because she told his business, don't ski the slopes, and then none of your so-called friends can tell on you. GC Chair says it doesn't add up. This happened 3 years ago. Heavenly didn't know, but talked to Mimi. Mimi wasn't on the show. Did you see Mimi's face when she said that? I call my friend Mimi. Mimi was like, you got another friend named Mimi? Mimi looked kind of weird, like, what? You call me? I don't know. I feel like they're making up some stuff after the fact. Then the Gamble says, Toya and Simone alluded that Heavenly was fired from Married to Medicine. They've been live. I never catch their lives. I hope that's the case. I don't see what she did that warranted that, Cece. I don't either. Yeah, I think we're coming to the end of the reunion. The men leave the stage. The men all kiss their wives on their cheek or shoulder. We see y'all. I love it. So they go back stage again. Let me see if they talked about anything else. They're getting ready to bring champagne out. Okay, I think we covered everything. Mimi was still crying. And the champagne comes out, and they want to toast the season. 501c3. Okay, I already gave Toya credit for that. Actually, Dr. Jackie wasn't going to. She says, yeah, we made the foundation of 501c3. And Toya said, that was my idea. I did that. And then they said, oh, congratulations on that. So, Jackie, you are a trip. This is a true snake right here, y'all. Dr. Simone is so glad she got her friend back. Oh, the funny thing happened when the men left the stage. Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie came back out on the stage hand in hand. And somebody said, look who it is, hand in hand. And Heavenly said, the two old bees. And everybody started laughing, including Dr. Mimi. Dr. Mimi, I don't think you would find Toya so funny if she were being vulgar and as loud and crazy as Heavenly. I don't. That's how I know you don't like Toya. But they kept kind of smiling at each other and saying that, well, I don't. Toya says she doesn't hold a grudge. So I think we're going to see a scenario if everybody returns where they try to get along a little bit, but I don't think they like each other. And now that Steve has shown his natural tail altogether, I don't think Eugene is going to forget that or even be in a space where he's friends with him. These other Married to Medicine men are friends outside of the show. They're still cool with Dr. Greg. Now, we saw a shady picture with them hanging out with King, but I do think that Dr. Eugene is friends with Kurt King. So I don't see that. Steve, I think you messed up. And Toya does not want you. She don't want your chin. She don't want your Louis. She don't want you. Candace is a Sagittarius. She's holding nothing back. And so is Nene, very outspoken. Yeah, dear Yvette. Andy, I mean, he acts like he is a friend, but make no mistake, ladies, that's your boss. So Heavenly, you may not have known who he was in the moment, but you calling that man Fred, I tell you what, he going to be over there on Radio Andy dragging you. Him and Jeff Lewis. And Jeff Lewis will be like, I'd fire that big black bee. Yeah, Jeff, I know about you too. I've seen and heard you for years, Jeff. I like Jeff on and off, but Jeff Lewis is a nasty person, y'all. I told you at BravoCon, he got booed by the audience. He made a crazy joke about Monica Garcia. How's she doing? I heard she just lost her EBT card. Just crazy. The audience didn't like it. And then he told this story that he used to ride in the car with his grandma. He didn't like being in Southern California because they never got rain, right? So his grandmother lived somewhere else. She'd drive him around in the car on a rainy day, and they would look for people to splash, unhoused people, splash them and laugh about it. And the audience had to boo him again. And he apologized. He apologized to Monica, and he apologized just for being a disgusting person. But he's best friends with Andy. So Andy's a little more palatable, but make no mistake about it, he's a trip too. The chat is laughing. Let me see, did I miss anything? Bravo said they will be fired from the show talking to anyone on YouTube. Linda Gamble, they should just put Carlos King, because that's who they're talking about. Steve has an outside child, allegedly. Linda Gamble, so I wonder if that's Amir that dear Yvette was telling us about. Mimi's the type where she'd be like, my husband's child is my child. And if he got 3, I got a bonus, baby. You know how they talk, which I have no problem with it. But Mimi, stop judging other people when your life is just as lifing as anyone else's. Maybe the fact that the Met Gala wasn't legally registered as a 501c3 may be the reason they did not seek corporate funds. At Sandra Peach and Extra, you're right. Jackie threw the Met Gala together for PR. She did, for PR and for a storyline, and so we could talk about something else. But she's got to fix that Rocky Foundation. She really does, because her intentions have not been good. And for Andy to have to beg them, y'all should have been hat in hand every year. He shouldn't have to ask. Didn't Steve talk about toxic masculinity? Yes, GC Chair, until he decided to display it, chasing that man all around. Those are doctors. They're never going to go toe-to-toe with you. Even when Dr. Greg was squeaking up the beach, you see he got on back pedals and moonwalked back down the beach. He wasn't going to fight King. So I don't know why Steve is chasing anybody around. I like Jeff off and on as well. Yes, American Born, he can be terrible. He really can, but I became familiar with him from his real estate show that he had when Jenny was his assistant, and he's consistent. He's never been any different. Zoila, remember his house manager, maid? He was terrible to Zoila, but Zoila was making her money. He got mad at her when she retired. I only like Jeff's home designs. He needs to get it too. Yeah, he's terrible. Remember when he came up on the palace like we didn't know who it was? Oh my goodness, American Born. I recognized the voice, and I don't know if Queen did. And then she's like, and she knew. And then in the palace, we were like, that's Jeff Lewis. And it was. I'll say I'm in a reality show space, but I can't say too much. I was like, Jeff, shut up. You're on the radio every day too. A trip. Oh, another thing, this note, I don't know why it's just here, but we'll see whether or not if they make it back. And I think they will. Steve called Dr. Eugene little man, that he had little man syndrome. I've never seen that in Dr. Eugene. I think he's very secure in himself. I really do. Nobody could allow their wife to sit up and talk like that if they're not secure in himself. So the season came to an end. How did you feel your experience was? I'll start with Angel. Andy, I loved it. I loved everybody. This whole circle, the women of color, blah. Angel, American Born, said, you got something that you're not telling us. So what's going on, girl? But Angel, y'all know I love Angel. She wore Sandra P's first season cloak of immunity, even though she didn't need it. They tried Angel, or Toya in particular, tried Angel. She couldn't get anywhere with Angel. And Angel defended herself. She displayed her scrub line, which she had ready to go. She had an opening for her movie, which she had ready to go. She didn't get into too much drama. She let a scrub go, Dr. Bernard, on air. So I think Angel had a very successful season. Brandi, what did you think? There's a lot of crazy things that went on, but I loved it. I just loved it. I love everybody, and it was just good. It was good, Andy. It was good. I got a fine husband. I got 4 cute little kids I thank God for, and I love it. I love it. So both their package might be in the mail, especially Brandi's. People are saying Angel could go, but if you think that, why? I think that Angel had a really good season. All the ladies said something else. Quad said something. Quad, what are you talking about? You didn't do anything. IVF, that is Sweet Tea's storyline. Ghana, that's the seasoning that you threw on IVF. We don't buy it. So if you come back, what are you coming back to and for? But she said, nobody better mess with us. I've been through the fire. I've made it through the rain. Quad, sit down. Dr. Jackie said something, or maybe she didn't. Simone said something loud, put her teeth on the table, and took them back out. Simone, you can come back. We love Simone, crazy as she is. Tacky Toya will end with you. I'll drink a glass of champagne. I'll even give a toast if Mimi's not counting. We're okay with champagne. Okay, Whitley Gilbert, now that we have permission to drink champagne. Toya says, I don't hold a grudge. I'm first chair. I'm living my life like it's gold. I don't know what Toya said, y'all, but y'all know. I'll put something in there. So they all had champagne, and that was that. I agree. Angel had a good season. Yeah, American Born. I think the first season, nurse practitioners did wonderful. Quad did have a great moment. I'm sorry, I left it out when my notes got scrambled. Andy was asking him about the administration, DEI. Quad said that the nurse practitioners, nursing is no longer a profession. So, yeah, I may do a Sandra P's Gen Extra political discourse later in the week. I'm going to drag the stuffing out of chili and people like that because it's not harmless. I don't care. I only gave $1,000. I didn't know. I don't care about none of that. Nurses are professionals. So for this crew of didn't earn it to tell them that their profession is no longer medical profession, they do that so they can no longer get student loans. Dr. Contessa said that her parents were working class. I think her mom worked at the post office. Her dad did something that was just a regular working day job. Her student loans would have been in the neighborhood of $400,000. So this show is really important for them. It is important for us. I'm so proud of the nurses, the doctors, the spouses. Married to Medicine, to me, it's on a pedestal over and above Bravo. I'm going to cover Housewives of Atlanta, but they're coming on some bull. I don't respect a lot of it, but yeah, I'll be here talking about it. Rhode Island, they cast 8 different of the same woman. I'll try to watch it. If I can tell them apart, we'll be here together watching that. But I love the nurse practitioners. I think they had a wonderful season. Quad, I don't know. You didn't do that much. If you looked at Quad face when Angel came out, she fixed it. I don't know. Jerry Vet, she always says, that's my friend. She always big ups Angel. I don't know. I don't see jealous. We'll see. Sojourner Truth Quad. So far, she's been Sojourner Truth. She's been Miss Jane Pittman. You know, I call her MLK Quad. Quad can preach. And nobody better mess with us. They better not mess with us because we've been to the mountaintop. And Quad. Then she drinks her champagne. And she's back there eating Fritos. Okay, Memphis Quad. We love Quadria. Like Kiwan J said, she is good for the show. She's a mess. I agree. My sister has inside info on one of the Rhode Island ladies, American Born. As soon as it comes on, it's going to come out. Believe it. DJ Envy's wife will be on New Jersey. Really? I don't know about too much about her. I know she's kind of a pick-me. I'm probably going to pick up Jersey, especially now that Teresa and her sister-in-law are good again, and Joe. I look forward to that. RNs are taking on patients like doctors now. Then there are PAs. Is that a profession? Thank you, Cece. You know, nurse practitioners can actually prescribe prescriptions. They have the power of prescribing. And my nurse practitioners, I always felt more at home, able to talk more to them than a doctor. So that's just how I feel. One moment, y'all. I'm going to try before we leave to show this picture. Let me go off so I don't talk amongst yourselves. Let me go off so I don't get flustered while I'm trying to put this up here. Because I want to show you this picture that I already have on my screen. All right, these 2 ladies. Oh, and then there was one of the other shows we watch. I have to show you that. Let me see if I can add this file. Y'all know that one of the twins, or both of the twins, Angel or Adore, they crossed over. So there is a gorgeous picture of them recreating Giselle's picture when she crossed over as an AKA. So that was really nice. I saw that online. Okay, I'm still here, everybody. I'm still here. I apologize. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, there it is. Let me remove myself. One moment. Okay, there we go. So that is Shamar with our girl Brandi and Andy. Andy, why you didn't bring Shamar out so we could see him? I don't know. I don't know why he didn't bring Shamar out so we could see him. And then let me show you the angel and a door. I don't know why I'm calling them angel and a door. I feel like one of them pledged. Let me pull up comments so I can see if anybody knows who did. My niece is a PA, a physician assistant, and it's crazy how they are doing that to the profession. Dear Yvette, I am hoping if we can put the genie back in a bottle, I hope a lot of this craziness will be undone because it makes no sense. What we know is that certain people that have always been underwhelming want to take the most educated demographic and push us down, and it's not going to stand. It's for now, but it's not going to stand. I told my doctor's office I signed on to be seen by the MD so they don't schedule me with the PAs. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, you get a choice, CC. You get a choice. But for mine, I like my nurse practitioner better in that case. Even though I did have a good doctor, I've had a really good relationship with one of the nurse practitioners. I don't have that option at most of my doctors, CC. Oh, I guess it matters. I mean, it just depends, American born. But yeah, they can prescribe you and everything. Both of them pledged, I think. Was it both of them? Yeah, I feel like it was. Let me show that picture of them. It was really cute. I don't have time to upload it. I may do a separate post with that. But she recreated it. Actually ended up in People. That's where I saw it at. That's where I saw it. Oh, you know what I can do? I can easily share this because I think I shared my whole notes. Yeah, I think it was, let's see, it was Angel and the Door. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, let me see. I feel like No Chaser had it, but People Magazine is the one that I saved. So they both pledged. But yeah, that recreation that they did, that was beautiful. She had the pink and green on. It was so cute. And let me just find it in here. This will be easier. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sitting up in here like I'm not even online. I apologize. Okay, it says they both pledge. They both follow in their mom's footsteps. All right, here it is. They shared. This is the Jasmine brand. I'm going to try to share it on here so you can see it. Can you see it? That's not the greatest. But if you're not online, I'm going to do a separate post. I'm not fond of Gia, Cassie, DJ Envy's wife. I did love the way she dragged Envy. She need to leave him, let alone just drag him, GC Chair. He is a dog in men's clothing. I can't stand Envy. They've been trying to get her on for a while. American born. Yeah, they're going to have to do something to get people to watch because I'm underwhelmed by them. I know a lot of people don't like Teresa. I don't mind Teresa. Teresa is dumb and crazy, but she's good TV. Even Gia, he cheated on her. He talked about it on Breakfast Club. Yeah, dear Yvette, he's humiliated her time and time again. And she still takes him back. So if she likes it, I mean, what can we do about it? Okay, let me share. One moment. I thought I had. Y'all, we're getting ready to come to the end of this. This has dragged on a while only because I wanted to make sure I covered everything in and also the whole season. Okay, 1 minute. I just shared it myself, so let me go back in and try to do that. Instagram. Dr. Contessa is saying something on live. I don't know why. Oh, it's about Steve. She said that was a lot that she called him Eugene Bush. Yeah, we knew that. I knew that was going to be a problem. So we will see. It was a nice not respect to her mom. nice nod of respect to her mom. It was. My sister-in-law knows Giselle from their sorority. They were at schools across the Chesapeake Bay from one another. Sister-in-law was not impressed with Jizzy. Yeah, they said she hasn't grown past that stage, CC. Really not. Not buying the Teresa and Melissa story. They need them checks. Dear Yvette, I was at BravoCon and I was near a panel that Melissa was talking about. I'll tell you, I believed it because they saw each other in Vegas, and she said, when I saw my husband, he came in, she said he was grinning from ear to ear like a kid. So Joe's sincere if Teresa's not. She said he was so excited, like, I just saw my sister. He was like bragging and just going crazy. You know, he's always been a little crazy over Teresa. And Teresa has always been so jealous of Melissa. I mean, in my opinion, I didn't like the way Melissa got on the show, but I feel like after it was a done deal, she should have let it go. I didn't like how far she took it. That was kind of crazy. Okay, y'all, this it's going to be a separate post. Not of respect. Yes, I understood. She suffered with arrested development. Yeah, Kiwan JTV. She never grown past her that stage of the game where she likes to kind of make fun of women and all that kind of stuff. She's a mess. G is doing a podcast episode with Melissa and Joe. I'm going to watch and see what we find out. Teresa is a terrible person. She is, but let me tell you something. Ever since she shook that table, they love her over there. Now, she's a whole felon. So how much can they talk about Karen and all these other people when you got a whole felon over there? All right, everybody. I could not find that. I will do a separate post on that, but thank you for sticking in there with me. Thank you for all of the super chats and super stickers and likes and all of that. American Born, thank you for, if your team replay, trying to find that hype button, the ever elusive hype button. I'm going to try to find it and then like do a snapshot and a post, but it is not on the live. It's team replay. So I do appreciate that. I couldn't find that picture. Thank you. This was a great review, Sandra. I have to get the dogs out. Yes, let the dogs out. Whew. Thank you, American Born. Thank you. I think this week. Oh, that was the podcast episode. So yeah, we'll be talking about little side separate stuff. Atlanta ladies are coming back, and then Rhode Island. All of them look alike. So y'all, we're going to need some kind of trick to figure out who's who. Key1J, exactly. Dear Yvette, thank you so much for the Purple Hearts. Thank all of you. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a happy Tuesday. And thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra in the bushes. Thank you for hanging out almost the entire time or the entire time. And I'll see you in the YouTube streets, everybody. Thank you. Replay gang, hit the like button, drop a comment. Let's hype the video up. Excellent commentary. See ya. Thank you, Sharon Gobble. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you in the YouTube streets. Bye.
I don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion! Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you? That I don't think that he's good. That I